Hello again, everybody. I know it's been a long time, and I want to apologize for anyone who was enjoying my content, and anyone who's probably thinking, where have you been? Guys, I gotta admit, I'm kind of enjoying my basically permanent vacation from making YouTube videos, mostly because A, I've been doing my own thing, just because I've been trying to kind of distract myself from how I perceive life to be kind of going downhill, especially with things how they are in the world right now. So anyway, but I'm still going to answer any viewer questions, and that's what we have today. We have a viewer question that came in, and the person asked, "How do I make an outpost?" I've probably answered this question before, but instead of digging through my videos to find the answer and just give them a link, I'm just gonna do a new video instead. So let's do that. First, let's find an appropriate game we can just pop up. I need the funds. Like, that's not going to cut it. You need, like, a lot more than that. So I guess the first part of my answer is, in my opinion, you need at least around, I want to say, 400,000 credits, maybe. Um, a lot of these will be just fine, but Farmer John, I remember that one. You also want to have some good safe places to make an outpost. You know, let's try this old file here. We'll go with the Ace McCloud file. I think it's like, what, 2 million credits? That's plenty. It's a lot. But you'll see what you're going to need once we start going, okay? So first of all, in your file, you're going to need a bunch of credits. I want to say a hauler H, or possibly just a regular hauler. But I would really recommend at least a hauler H. Or at a shipyard. That's actually useful because we want to be here. Well, this is perfect. Just perfect. Alright, great. Let's just undock. So here we are in the Botany Bay. What else do we have, though? Let me just check that first, guys. Properties. We've got a lot of these in here. That's okay. That's fine. Okay. Get rid of the turrets. Don't need that. All right. So that's fine. Okay. So first of all, go to cargo prices. Now, normally to get any item, whether it's diamonds, gold ore, hover bikes, or even if you want to try to get impulse, right? That's the problem with impulse. No one sells the stuff because no one makes the stuff. There are no impulse factories. If you find impulse, it's, in my opinion, it's luck. Okay. The next best thing, in my opinion, would be plasma rifles, which typically sell for over 1,000 credits, and then maybe jewelry or gold. Nope, correction, sorry, jewelry. Although impulse, if you had it, because it's so rare, sells for a lot more. But again, the next best thing is plasma rifles. Anyway, if you keep going, you run into, right, you've got scrap, which no one sells, but everyone buys it, basically. You have ammunition. missiles. Okay, you can buy and sell missiles. And then finally, you have your station parts. Okay, look down here. These are all parts to make stations. These, for example, will create an arms factory. Okay, basically you can make those little guns that I was just talking about. In fact, if you want to know what they actually do, click on cargo info. This package contains all the materials needed to construct a light arms factory in a single container. Station builders carry this cargo to suitable deployment location to start construction. Okay. I think basically on the side here you have the average price of the parts. In this case, over 1 million credits. And the volume is 80, which basically is how much space it will take up in your ship. Let me just check on that real quick, okay? For example, what do I have? The heck? Let's go with, it's been a while. Stats, I think. And I only have 65 cargo space, so we might have a little bit of an issue. So again, so first you want to go to log, then cargo prices. Go basically all the way down to the bottom, and you're going to see the stations. Okay? Vehicle plants. They make those little hover bikes. Trade station. That's the big thing that you can technically only get if you have the expansion pack. Okay, otherwise, because you need a lot of cargo space. And the best cargo ship you can get without the expansion pack is the Hauler H. Storage lockers. There's these they're like these little dinky things. They're like really small. They fit stuff in them. I don't care for them. I think they're pretty much pointless. So if you guys like them, go for it. They're cheap. I've never really worked with them, so I don't really. I'm not sure if there's any like real tricks to them. So whatever. But essentially, you could put stuff in them, and then you can tractor beam them around. So you can kind of like drag them with you wherever you go. Okay. Nice thing is, they don't take up much room in your cargo bay to build, and then once they get built, they have more than just 10 volume to them, so that's interesting. Shipyard parts. Okay. Again, one of those things that takes like a lot of room. Actually, no. Never mind. I'm sorry. 50 volume. Now, correction, it's the trade station parts and the refinery parts that you need a lot of room for. Okay, but the question we were being asked was how to build an outpost. Okay, how do you get an outpost? Well, right there. Okay, so let's go back and go through the whole process again. First things first, you need a suitable sized hauler. I prefer the Hauler H, but we will try it first with the Hauler A class. Go to log, go down, go to cargo prices, click on that, scroll the way to the bottom of the prices list, all the way down, and you're going to want to look for the station of your choice. In this case, the Military Outpost. In fact, I recommend the Military Outpost to anyone who wants to kind of start setting up a base of any kind. Because with the Military Outpost, you can make your own little ships, your own fighter vessels. And that's pretty cool. And the best part is, once you're done with the fighter vessel, if you no longer want to have it around, you can sell it basically back to yourself and get your money back, which is awesome. Okay. So cargo info. It only takes up 50 volume, which would leave me with 15. And since I want to protect it with lasers, I need 25 more. So you can kind of see the issue as to why I would prefer to have a larger hauler H first. So let's do this. Let's get her turned around and get her back to this base here. Okay, let's go to, I think, request taxi. Let's go to this trade station. Let's hop aboard. Buy a ship. Let's get plenty of money. Okay. So you got your hauler A, which is the standard hauler, which you start with if you start as a merchant, right? The hauler P, which basically has maximum passenger hauling capabilities, and then finally the hauler P, then finally the hauler H, which is what we want because it has the maximum hauling capacity that you can get without having the expansion pack. So in my opinion, I recommend getting one of these first. Although yes, you can set up a station with the hauler A class. Okay. So watch how much money it takes. So that took around 100,000 credits. And it's going to take a little bit more because what I'm going to go ahead and do is deck it out as much as possible because while you're setting up a station, you need protection. And it helps if your ship can take some hits. And it also helps if you have an actual vessel that can help protect you as you set up your station. Okay? And we're going to take care of that too as well. Okay. So hop in here first. Let's get rid of the stuff we don't need because all of this cargo takes up space in our cargo bay, and we need that space in order to store our parts for a station that we're going to set up. So sell all that stuff. We don't need it. And if you want weaponry, we can do that by setting this thing up with lasers only, or any other kind of static weapons you like. In other words, weapons that don't take ammunition. Okay, and lasers don't take ammunition. But if you like plasmas or photons, whatever you want to do, you can do photons, plasma, whatever. I prefer lasers. Okay. I will get rid of that. And then, in my opinion, boost up your shields, boost up your engines, deck out the ship just because it's going to make things a little easier in terms of setting up the station because you're going to have protection. Okay? Better capacitor, better energy, production, basically. I like to cloak. There you go. And just in case we ever do have countermeasures on this thing to use, let's upgrade that as well. Okay? Now, let's do another request. Let's get over to the shipyard. We'll go to buy ship. Let's buy lovely Orion, who's going to ultimately protect us. We could actually buy a few of these things, and I probably will. Again, you don't have to buy one. It's not necessary, but I'm going to do it just for the sake of it. For the sake of demonstration purposes. Now we want to go back and find there you go, right here. So essentially we're going back to the military outpost in Lambda, which offhand is exactly what we're going to be building. We're going to be building our own outpost. So basically, in terms of how much money or how much credits this is going to cost, it can be relatively cheap, relatively being at least around 500,000 credits in my opinion, or more depending on if you want to if you need to buy ships first to defend yourself with. Okay, because when you're setting up the base, there might be bandits that will attack you. So be ready to defend your newly formed station. Let's get rid of these. I don't like these. It's been a little while, but I think I know this by heart. Equipment. This is just the stuff I like. Get the lasers. This is like my favorite setup for this vessel. The rear turret I turn into the military launcher, which will let me shoot missiles. Every other gun gets replaced by the regular laser 2, which is the best laser you can have for this thing. I don't like mines, so let's just toss that. Upgrade the shield to maximum. Boost the engine. And basically everything else. That's already at maximum capacity, which is awesome. Capacitor 1.5, and finally the cloak and level 2 countermeasures. Okay? Then we'll go ahead and let's buy the stuff we really do want, which will be 30 of these guys and 10 ECM level 2. All right. And let's go get one more. Actually, let's check. Let's do. Oh, no, sorry, not cargo. Let's do orders first. Make sure he's not gonna pick a fight. That's nice. Okay, great. And then we'll do this one more time because it's gonna help us to be really well defended while we set up the base. Okay. Go back to the shipyard. Buy a ship. Buy the, oh gee. Huh. Was it the Orion A? I don't remember now. Let's go to properties. This is what happens when you have too many of these things laying around. Too many ships, just things get slow. Things get annoying. Yeah, it's just an Orion A class. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Good. Okay. Get out of here again. Get out my little cheat sheet so I can just find my way to the base. Now I have other videos on how to set up a fleet, how to manage a fleet, so I'll just be kind of glazing over that real fast when I get to that point. Because I'm going to set up a fleet to protect my hauler, which will ultimately have the parts in it to set up the outpost, okay? So are these steps necessary? No, they're not, but in my opinion, if you want to protect your newly formed asset, you'll want to do these things. You'll want to have a fleet, or turrets, or something. And you need something, in my opinion, to protect the hauler while it's setting up the outpost. Okay? Back to equipment, show compatible. Laser 2. Laser 2. Military turret. More laser 2s because they're fun. I like them. To make relatively quick work of little fighter craft. Ditch that. Upgrade these things. And away we go, basically. That's already at maximum. We don't need a passenger hauler. Just don't need it. Okay. You could be like, hey, you could have just bought a cloaking vessel. You know what? Yeah, you're right, but I like doing it this way. You know, bite me. Okay. There we are. And get those awesome interceptor missiles. And yeah, here we are. Perfect. All right. Then orders, and basically tell him not to pick fights because we don't want him doing that just yet. Okay. Now let's go back into our new vessel. Okay. who will also not be attacking anything, so get rid of the... So go to fleet settings and go to stance and deselect both of those options, okay? But we want it to cloak, that's fine. Okay. Now, we're already... So here. So let's say we're not where we need to be. First of all, you want to, again, log, right? Cargo prices. All the way down to the bottom and find the parts you need. In this case, we're looking for an outpost. Okay. Now, you can technically use any station you like as an outpost, technically. Let's not lie about this. Okay. In fact, at one point, my first outpost was actually a repair shop. But a military outpost, in my opinion, is much more useful. Okay. So let's just... We're going to go to the one in Beta Pindola, although typically you want to, you know, buy the cheapest one you can get, right? But money's not an issue right now, so let's just go ahead and go to the one here. So you would toggle waypoint, order move to. And he will take you to where you need to go. He will take you to your target so you can buy the item you like. So guys, bear with me if you like short videos. You're not going to get one here. I don't do short videos. I don't do editing, so what you see is what you get. All right, so relax, drink some coffee, have some popcorn. All right, put on a Pop-Tart. I have no idea. Whatever you want to do. All right. All right. Now, finally, go to trade. Scroll where it's, you know, find military outpost. Click on the plus button. Buy one. Scroll back. Hit the back button in the lower left-hand corner. Now, I prefer laser 5 turrets, but you might like laser 3s. Or you might decide, I don't even need turrets, I'll just have my ships guard the base. Guys, whatever works for you, do it. I like to mix turrets with ships. The turrets provide nice static defenses, and laser 5s are very powerful, and they have very good range. So if like something big like a Magnus or an Overlord comes along, it starts getting shot at before my ships have to engage the vessel. Then after that, my ships can help out too, and they can help take down the threat. But typically you're going to be attacked by things like bandits anyway, so laser turrets and ships work out perfectly in my opinion, you know, when they're combined together. At this point, click on the laser 5 and just load this thing up. In this case, I can only buy one, but that's fine. But if I was just using a hauler A-class, I wouldn't be able to put even one turret on into my cargo bay. But at least having one turret will allow us to start setting up a defense. And that's what we want. That's what we want to do. We want to start setting up a defense as soon as we start building our base. Okay. Now, in my opinion, the next thing you want to do here is get your defenders out to guard you, right? So let's go to log, properties, get up the new boys, right? Go to orders. Guys, I'm just gonna kind of quickly glance over how to work a fleet. I'll put them on fleet 7. They'll go ahead and prefer to cloak at the moment, but not attack. And that's fine. Okay? Okay. So stance not attacking. And that's it. Although I wonder, do I already have a fleet 7? So I might have just messed things up here. I probably do. But yeah, I would no, I don't. No, I don't. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's good. All right. So, where's the other one? Where are you, buddy? There she is. Orders. Put her on levels. Put her on 7. Double check settings. Cloak. Don't attack nothing. And that home base is just fine. Perfect. Now we're gonna go ahead and have. Let's click on our new fleet. There we are, Fleet 7. Orders. Combat. Protect me. In this case, since they are not going to be, or they're going to be cloaked and not attacking anything, they're just going to kind of like follow me at the moment, like kind of like come along for the ride. Okay, which is all we really need them to do. We just need them to kind of come along for the ride. Okay. Now, in the fleet, they'll act as a group. If they're not in the fleet, they can still protect you individually. They just won't function as a group. Now, the only real benefit behind not having them in a fleet is they tend to move faster because they're just independent. When they're in the fleet, they try to kind of fly in formation. Alright, so now they're just kind of circling. Oh, why are they just... That's interesting. Guys, I get distracted kind of easy, so I'm sorry. They're kind of circling me. That's kind of weird, huh? Anyway, next step. Figure out where to set up your base. Because location is king, so let's go and do that. So one of the ways I'll do that is I'll just go ahead and check out the different sectors via the taxi option and see which ones could, I don't know, use my presence. Trekos is kind of crowded. Andrel looks like a nice place, right? They could use a nice base there, huh? That'd be fun. Like, I typically like to pick areas that already, like, that don't have bases, that don't have outposts, because, I don't know, it just makes sense to me, you know? I already have a base there, a repair shop in Dimappa, but I don't know. So, you know, this is already a very well established file. Elgahat's a death trap. I'm sorry. Galen's a death trap. I'm not going to bother with that. But you know what? This might be fun. Let's try our luck with Solace. Okay. So undock. Our guards should still be kind of waiting for us. We're going to try going to Solace. Okay. So let's go ahead and pick up our map. We're in Beta Pendulus. We have a ways to go. So we're going to go to Trekos first, then Helemis, then Solace in the corner, okay? So let's find Trekos. Or Trekos. Whatever you guys want to call it, I really don't care. Okay. So next step is take your new cargo, okay, which should be near cargo bay. See, there you go. 1 quantity of military outpost parts and 1 laser turret parts. Okay? And that is essentially what we're doing here. We're hauling these parts inside our cargo bay, then are going to deploy them, which will end up building us our outpost. Okay? And notice we started with like a little over like 1 million plus credits, and now we're down quite a bit. So, depending on how much money you want to put into this operation, it can be as cheap as making sure you have a hauler ready to go, and then finally getting your parts. In this case, I probably made it overly expensive, but you know, hey, whatever. Okay. Now we want to go to Helemis. Let's get over there. Scanner, Olemus is that way. Groovy. Nice, nice, nice. People can't fly, you know? They just can't fly, you know? Got people banging into me. But seriously, like my one complaint, though, against this game, or one of the few complaints I have against this game is it's only two-dimensional space. Real space is three-dimensional. There's another axis. There's a z-axis. But this basically treats space like a flat piece of paper, which is kind of eh. But that's okay. No big deal. Unfortunately, people have asked me, well, what's up with this game? Like, aren't people still developing it? And apparently the answer is no, it's turned into abandonware. The developers just kind of left it just as is, just to rot, which is sad. Okay, anyway, so my boys back there are still following orders. They're still doing their job. They're trying to catch up to me to protect me. Okay. Right now, fortunately, no one's really around to hurt me, so we're good. But the point is, you want to kind of, especially if you're going into a hostile area, you want some ships with you to protect you while you set up the base. Okay? That's all there is to it. But if you can cloak, you can get away with a lot for a long time before you do anything else. You know, so that's that. Okay, now we want to go to Solace from here. There you go. 3.3k away. We're almost home, guys. Almost there. In the meantime, while you're doing all this, try to make sure that you would at least have everything else taken care of. If you have like an established fleet of vessels or established businesses or whatever, make sure you're keeping track of those too, because you can get distracted. Then maybe you lose a ship or two. You don't want to do that if you can avoid it. So, but right now I don't care what happens in this file because I'm not going to save it, so it's no big deal. So again, to review the steps, step 1, make sure you have an appropriately sized hauler because the parts take up a lot of space in the cargo bay. Now I probably could have used my regular hauler A-class, but the parts take up 50 cargo space in my cargo bay, and that would have left me with not enough space for the laser turret. Although, yes, I can just have my ships accompany me and protect me, and then you can actually switch them over and have them protect the base that's being set up, okay? Which is going to be one of the other steps in the process. But for now, we're basically on step 3, which is find a good place to set up and then go there to set up. Now, this is not an automatic process. This has to be done manually, so, you know. Next step, now that we're actually in the sector, okay, now that we're actually at the place to set up the base, you want to physically look and find the best place in the sector to set up. So let's go to sector map, and then kind of look around. Like if you see enemy bases, you kind of want to avoid the enemy bases. In this case, let's go off in this direction here. We'll say to the left of that turret over there. Should be this way. Okay. And you can play with this, and you're going to find out that there's limits to how close you can build to other stations. There's limits to how close you can build to wormholes and stuff. But we're going to try to get around 1,000 away from this thing in terms of distance. And then just go from there. Now remember, larger turrets, the laser 5 turrets can shoot at 500 distance approximately, so you're going to want to also be pretty far away from anything else as well. Which is not a problem. We're very far away from everything, so that's great. That's perfect. Okay, now, since we can't build while we're cloaked, let's decloak. Okay, you gotta decloak. But at this point, let's do this. Let's go ahead and do log property. Let's have these guys, this fleet, start doing their job. Orders, combat, oh sorry, no, fleet settings, stance, attack, intercept, and now decloak. Okay? Then I will decloak. And then I'll go ahead and do ship, cargo, select military outpost, deploy, do not eject. Eject sends the parts out into space, and then you'll have to recollect them. And if the parts get shot at, they're destroyed, and guess what? You've lost that money. So click on deploy, not eject. And there you go. Now I'm going to simply turn around and keeping that behind me, I'm going to attempt to set up my first defense. Now guys, you can set up your turrets wherever you want them to be, but I like to be kind of picky. Okay. So ship, cargo, click on your turret, deploy. Now, only one turret will deploy at a time. Okay, at this point, what you'd want to do is you'd want to take your fleet there and have it target your base and have it defend the base now. So let's click on the new target, click on the base, the new outpost, right? So now we have that base clicked on as a target. Click on log, click on properties. You're going to click on your fleet. Okay, and then go ahead and say orders. Combat, protect my target. So now I'm switching them from protecting me, my ship, to protecting the base. So at this point, they're going to basically help stop the base from being attacked. They're also going to, in turn, basically protect the turret because it's so close to the base that it's going to be covered by the ships as well, okay? But basically, this is the main investment. This is the expensive thing. Have your new fleet, or have any fleet that you have handy, protect the base. And if we have an actual fight, that'd be kind of fun to watch. And they do. They do have a thing to fight against. Yeah, okay. So, but again, in case you're confused, okay, it's like, how did we get these parts again? That's simple. Okay, go to log. Down to cargo prices. It's basically it's in the cargo price. It's in the cargo price menu. So same process that you would get anything else, whether it's sleep pods or medipacks or chips or ration packs or even ammunition. It's just at the bottom of the menu, guys. It's at the bottom of the menu. See these little barrels? They look like container barrels. Boom, it's right here. Okay? What we got was a military outpost, parts. If you want to make a repair shop instead, that's fine, do that instead. But when this is built, I'll show you why I prefer this better. Okay? Then ultimately, we're going to want more turrets. So we're going to do that instead to help things get defended. Let's check to see if there's a... there is actually a shipyard here. So let's go and do that, shall we? So all the parts for all the stations are sold at shipyards, okay? So if price is not a big deal, just go wherever you want to go, alright? Just go wherever you want to go. In this case, I've got plenty of cash. Price is not an option. I'm just going to go ahead and go to the shipyard. Okay? But anyway, otherwise it would be log, prices, go all the way down. In this case, I'm looking for more turrets. Go there. And then you click where you want to go. Toggle move to. There you go. But like I said, typically you're going to want to find the cheapest parts because they're all the same anyway, right? So just get the cheapest stuff. Now again, if you don't want to do turrets, you don't have to. You can just pick ships, have your ships guard the base itself. No big deal. Okay? And guys, we're basically done, okay? Okay. Offhand. 25K, huh? Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Go to trade once you're there. Okay. Now again, as a review, you would click on your outpost, click on plus, and then there you go. You can buy your outpost. But right now we're just here for the turrets, so fill her up. We can buy 3, and that's great. Gonna recloak and go back to my new base being set up. Okay. In this case, I'm just gonna kind of randomly plop down the turrets. It's like you can already tell one's already... Never mind. Oh, never mind. We did have one constructed. So one's already done. The one's already finished. It's already done. So, in reality, with some ships protecting it and the turret protecting it, the base should be pretty much fine, okay? And depending on how well your ships are armed, I mean, that base will probably almost never go down, okay? Kind of like if you went into TEF territory and tried lighting someone up, they're going to declare war against you, and you're going to die. That's all there is to it. You're going to die. Okay? You ever, like when you're new, I would watch like the bandits come in and try to attack the TEF. They always died, alright? So basically you just turn this area here into like a miniature version of the TEF territory. You get 2 heavily armed Orions and a nice turret, and then I can add more to that. And oh, actually, you know, first, like I said, I would do. Let's show you guys why I like the why I like this thing. Well, that's right. I can't. It's not done yet. Never mind. It's getting close though. So once it's finished, though, we're gonna wrap this up, and we'll be done, guys. We'll be done. Okay. So essentially, what you want to do at this point is kind of. I like to be picky. You don't have to be picky, you know. I like to kind of surround my base with turrets. All right. So Again, you don't have to, but it's kind of like, in my opinion, why not? Okay. See what I'm doing here? Again, you don't have to do this, but I'm just doing this because I like to. Alright? So, good enough, right? So let's go ahead and ship, cargo, deploy. And that's basically the idea, okay? And then you just basically plop those things down wherever you like, and you're good to go, alright? So anyway, obviously the turrets, they get done building faster because it's just less to be built. These things take longer. If you ever get lucky enough to build a trade station, that takes longer too. Alright, so there you go. So now, why do I like these bases? Check this out. Let's go dock. I can buy fighter craft. I can buy Hornets. I can buy flyers. And I can do this. Let's go ahead and buy a vessel. We will buy a... no, let's buy a Hornet. Buy Hornet A-class, buy Enter. Let's go trade. Let's go to the credit stuff. Do equipment. Let's deck this puppy out as much as possible. And the Hornet becomes the fastest ship in the game once it's all decked out. Although it's still one of the more fragile ships in the game. But a little bit of shielding and we're good to go, basically. Woohoo. Alright. Now where was that ship to attack, huh? Where was that hush puppy? Where did she go, huh? Where did she go? Anyway, guys, that's it. Right there. Okay. So... oh, she's just an orange. She's not even red. I thought she was red. I swear there was a red around here someplace. Anyway, that's all good. It's all good. But again, to review the steps, so basically step one is make sure you have at least a hauler A-class vessel. But again, I would prefer and recommend at least a hauler H-class, because it's going to give you more cargo space. At that point, make sure you have enough money, because that's basically step one anyway, okay? Without enough money, you can't build what you need to get built. Alright? These things cost about 300,000 plus credits. Alright, so it's kind of a big deal, you know? And even getting a hauler H class costs at least 100,000. And to upgrade your vessel, it's going to cost even more than that. So there you go. After you have your hauler H and you have enough credits, go to log, cargo prices, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and find the cheapest military outpost parts you can buy, in this case, in Helemis right now. Click on toggle, move to. So let's pretend that we're inside of our little, our hauler, which would prefer if it was cloaked. So let's fix that. There you go. That's much better. Okay. So she's going to go ahead and take us to the outpost, right? Once you're there, you buy the parts. Guys, look how fast it is. 57 speed. 58. Right there. Maximum cruising speed, 58. Now what other vessel does that much speed? Okay, the answer is no one does. Nothing does. Imagine a fleet of these things, fully equipped like I have them right now, flying at your face. Lasers, missiles, ECM, you name it. You can't stop these guys. Okay? Alright. So assuming this would be your hauler H, you get onto trade, right? You click on your outpost that you want to purchase, you click plus, you click buy. That's all there is to it. Click plus to add one into your cargo bay, click on buy, and then if you have the space, you can click on either laser 3 or laser 5 or whatever you want. In my preference, laser 5, click on plus, click on buy. That's pretty much it. At that point, you undock. If you can cloak yourself, please and thank you. Go to log. Go down to, actually, I'm sorry, not log. Basically, find a place to park your base, however you want to do it. Okay? I prefer to go to the taxi function because it allows you to kind of see where you might want to put one. At least in my opinion. But whatever way you want to do it, that's up to you. I don't really care. Alright? This is how I do it. I go to request taxi just to see what areas have the most stations. And especially if you're trying to establish yourself in like a military presence, like you might ask yourself, well, where don't I have stations? Or where is there not an allied station? Like right here, boom. I can go to Viking, I can park my booty there, I can get patched up, I can get more weaponry. So that's fine. Okay. I have plenty of allies in Gotopia, so we're good. Okay? But Solace was a good place to plop down a base. So right now, if I'm in Solace, conducting business, get shot at, I can retreat, go to my base, we're good to go, right? Now, Galen would be a great place to put a station, because if I ever go down there and declare war on El Gahat, I've got a place to launch attacks from. That's one benefit of a military outpost. Androla, for example, might be a good place to plop down a base because no one has a military base there yet. And military bases are very useful, especially in terms of, military and war and stuff. So there you go. After that, basically make your way to that place. Then once you're there, let's pretend this is Androla. You go to log, go to sector map, and pretty much determine, based upon the sector map, where you would prefer to put down your base. Preferably someplace out of the way. Okay, like you don't want to put it in like a jumble of other bases and stuff, because it's just gonna it's just a mess. Okay. If you want to do it that way, that's up to you, but typically you want to kind of put up your base so it's like out of the way. Alright? Now, to be very fair, military bases really don't make you any money, so don't think of it that way. Alright, but anyway, guys, hope this has helped. In any event, please leave any questions, comments, or constructive, polite criticism down below. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps explain to anyone who had asked the question how to make a military base, how to set one up. And that's it. Yeah, thanks. So, I hope you enjoyed, guys. Until next time, and remember, missiles are not toys. The world's screwed up enough. There you go. Okay. 2021, no nuclear war. See yas. Peace.